is my Hass avocado. It's growing in a tapered wooden planter that measures about 24 by 24 by 24. This tree was purchased from an online nursery back in May of 2017. The tree came in a small pot standing about 27 inches tall with a very narrow trunk. It was estimated to be less than a year old. It was basically a whip when it was received. It was subsequently transplanted to a slightly larger pot. I used some cactus soil mix when I transplanted this tree the first time. The tree did really well, and within a few months it started to develop some flowers. By August of 2017, a small amount of avocados had begun to develop. At this stage, the tree was much too young to allow it to set any fruit, so I decided to remove all the fruit. In February of the following year, while still in a smaller container than the one you see here, it began to develop buds again. Although the tree had put on a good amount of growth, it was still much too young to fruit, so I stripped it once again. By January of 2019, the tree had put on a substantial amount of growth and had grown to well over 5 feet in height, so I transplanted it to the wooden planter you see here. When I transplanted the tree, I left the crown of the root ball exposed. I then added some pumice around the trunk area and covered the exposed roots. I then added a topsoil mix over the rest of the planter. The topsoil mixture consisted of worm castings, peat moss, organic soil mix, chicken manure, and some azomite. The mixture was spread over the top, which was about 2 inches thick. I topped it off with some wood chips. In late February of 2019, shortly after transplanting, once again it began to flower. As you can see here, the tree had a substantial amount of buds and flowers. By this time the tree was estimated to be nearly 3 years old. Still young, but it had put a substantial amount of growth, so I decided to allow it to fruit. I noticed that there was no bee activity, and I was concerned that the flowers would not get pollinated. So I decided to spray a mixture of honey and water in order to attract the bees. I used the spray bottle and mixed 1 part honey to 3 parts water. The following day, I noticed several bees on the tree. I used the spray bottle for the next several days, and the bees continued to visit the tree. By April, a few avocados had started to form. The tree had lost several leaves, so I decided to add a shade cloth to try and protect the newly forming avocados. Over the next several weeks, about 50 avocados had started to form and were about the size of a pea. Unfortunately, one by one, they began to drop. And by August, only one remained on the tree. The one shown here in this pic. It stayed on the tree several weeks after all the others had fallen, but it too eventually fell off. By October, the tree had put on more growth. As you can see here, the tree had put on a good amount of healthy, lush green leaves. In December, I noticed some new buds starting to form. As you can see, the tree was developing several buds throughout the tree. The damaged leaves you see are a result of an infestation of caterpillars that had eaten some of these leaves. I used some neem oil and that seemed to work pretty well to get rid of the problem. In early January, the buds were developing well and were a bit more notable. Here they are a week later, still doing good and becoming more pronounced. And here they are with another week of growth. Here they are, first week in February. There's a little cold damage on some of the leaves. Not too bad. This tree usually gets a little cold damage during the winter and loses a few leaves. But it'll pop back up in another few weeks. Avocados have a complex flowering cycle. It's difficult to pollinate because they don't get pollinized like most other fruit trees. An avocado flower will open and close as a female and male over a course of a couple of days. Each opening stage only lasts a few hours during each day. There are two types of avocado trees, type A and a type B. The type A tree will cycle with the female flower opening in the morning, then close, and the following day it will not open until the afternoon, at which time it will be a male. The B basically works in reverse. It will open as a female in the afternoon and then as a male the next day in the morning. So for instance, on day one for a Hass avocado or a type A tree, you'll have a female flower in the morning, and by the afternoon the flower is closed. On day two, the flower will be closed in the morning and then open in the afternoon as a male. These cycles are affected by temperature, but basically that's the complex cycle of the Hass avocado. I know, really confusing and complicated, but as complicated as that may be, it is possible that it can self-pollinate. However, for a heavier crop, it's best to have one of each type of tree, a type A and a type B. By having both types, you'll have cycles throughout the day where you will have male and female flowers open simultaneously, thereby ensuring a better chance for pollination. Okay, that's it for the avocado. I'll post a follow-up video if and when the tree sets any fruit. In the meantime, let me give you a quick peek at some of the upcoming videos I intend to post. The next will likely be on my cherry of the Rio Grande. It has begun to flower, so I'll be uploading a video on it soon. My apple trees are also in bloom. That's a golden dorset on the left, and then Anna apple on the right. Those pieces of wood you see on the branches are being used to train the branches to be more horizontal rather than vertical. I'll be planting them in this area here. This fence, which is falling apart as you can see, is going to be replaced in the next few weeks. As soon as the new fence is up, I will be planting my apple trees and these two pear trees. That's a pineapple pear on the left and a hood apple pear on the right. I'll be planting them along this area, espalier, all along this all along this area here. I'll post videos on them as soon as the work is completed. Well, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed watching. As you can see, I have several projects pending. So if you'd like to follow along, please subscribe and hit that bell so you can get notified when I upload a new video. Please don't forget to give this video a like and hit that thumbs up button. Thank you for watching.